JVL, mate. So what I've highlighted here is predominantly our bat path and the steepness of our angle that we take to the baseball. As we scroll through this, the green dots is our barrel, and the yellow circles are our hand path, and the red line is our bat path. Okay, so as you can see here, it's very steep attack at the start, and then we continue down rather than, I'll take all these arrows away, rather than getting on plane back here, all the way down here to the baseball, and then continuing in an upward trajectory. As we rock through the video here, we can see that we're down, 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 and then we just cut out of the zone. It's something that I wanted to talk to you about a few times, and I think it can be fixed with a few different things. So obviously when a baseball's pitched to us, it's on a downhill trajectory, and we want to match that plane. If we swing down and the baseball's coming down, we have a really, really small room for error on our contact position. So that's probably where I would start with you at the moment. And the biggest part here is actually how tight we are to our body. And our first move with our hands is directly at the baseball. I would rather see your first move be this back elbow coming at the baseball and then coming up through. So the knob of our bat goes straight to the air, and that elbow creates our line and our direction. As you can see, that elbow tucks straight into our back hip, and we get really jammed, and we don't create a lot of space in our body. We need room to move, room to rotate, and room to fire. So it does a few different things. When we get the elbow, so you've probably heard me talk about getting the elbow in front of the belly button and then accelerating from there. Two things happen when we do this. So the first thing is we create a lot more separation. So what I would like you to do, we get to a good spot with our weight being 60-40 and being forward and being good with our lower half. Our lower half works really well. Our hips rotate perfectly, and we're driving off the back foot. We're doing a good job with that. But it's all barrel path for me. As you see here, we're straight down and we're not creating the plane that the ball would be on if it's pitched towards. It's probably a really good image where you can see that our hands are in front. Our hands are in front of our elbow, and we haven't created a good, strong position going into contact. Now we get there in the end, and that's why we find a way to hit a baseball hard, but I think there's a lot more that we can do. Looking at your Rapsodo data from the small sample size we've had already, we create a lot of overspin. Overspin in fact of our trajectory, our launch angle isn't very high. Our distance traveled isn't very high, but we create a lot of backspin and a lot of exit velocity. So what that means is our ball balloons, we create too much backspin, and the ball gets to a point and it stops and drops. We can work on that when we get back on the field, that's fine, but I think for now, just initially trying to get that elbow in front of the belly button and having our barrel fall behind our body. All right, so it'll feel longer initially, but we're creating length to create velocity, right? We're creating a stretch, we're creating more and more velocity with our bat speed, and we're creating more tension in our body rather than having our hands come directly down and our barrel follow that direction. Now after contact, just continue our bat path. As you see here, we kind of roll through it and we pull off and we get into that, we don't continue our barrel path. we get here and we roll out. So I think creating length is a big key thing for you, and creating more upper body separation as we continue forward into our swing. I'll send you a few videos of a few barrel paths that I think will be really good for you. Let me know if you've got any questions. We can jump on a Teams chat if you want to talk about this, or we can just give me a call and we can go a bit further into it.